When I graduated, my GPA was a 2.8, and then after that year it was a 2.6, because I had such a rough start to begin with, and that was only my junior year when I made the transformation, and of course it didn't really go through until the junior year was over. So at the end of my junior year I had a 2.6, then a 2.8, and then to your point as well, there was only one college that gave me money to go. Like I had applied to 7 colleges, even with all of my accolades when I graduated. You're talking about 2017 Randallstown High School Principals Award, first team all county, first team all division in football and track, selected to the All-Star Game, FBLA Achievement Award, Independent Research Award, all of these awards and accolades, and only one school gave me an opportunity. That's the school that I go down to McDaniel College. So, I mean, and that was strictly, I know it was based off of my GPA, because you look at all of those awards, if I would have had 3.5, I could probably go anywhere. But, you know, the GPA is so weighted now, and that's why I kind of want to give students the opportunity to value that education even more, not only for the GPA, but for the opportunities you get as well. So, yeah, I graduated with a 2.8. So, yeah. Any other questions about entrepreneurship, about business, about speaking? Yeah, you have another one? You mind pressing it again? You got to press the red button.
Who is your SAT score?
Ooh, that's a... My essay, it was a 1090 when I took it the second time. So the first time it was a 970. I took it over again, it was a 1090. So very average. It wasn't, you know, anything special. But yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Any questions at all? Yep, right here. You mind passing it? Yeah, press the red button, start, and then stop it with the square in the middle.
Would you say that? Would you say that after-school activities have helped you more than more education, or the education is what brought you to the after-school activities?
I believe when it comes to after-school activities, they're actually conduits of each other. So it started with me wanting to make that academic transformation. But once I was a straight A student, that's when I became a varsity captain on the football team. That's when I made it to states and track. I threw discus and shot put. I was a captain on the wrestling team after that. So it was able to bleed into other aspects of my life. And that's why I always talk about transferable processes instead of temporary products, right? Because we focus so much on trying to get our diploma and get out of here, right? But we never really focus on the process that gets us there. And like I said, everything else in my life improved. Like my body, I started to get a little six-pack right here. I started to bulk up a little bit. And then, you know, my relationships with people changed. I started gaining new friends once I, you know, joined that elite group of elite students. So they really, you know, bounced off of each other. And of course, with being an athlete, being a hard worker, as a football player, as a wrestler, I was able to use that process from the beginning in order to be a better student. So. Yeah, we got one all the way in the back. I'm going to run it to her. Hold up. And then press the square in the middle once you're done asking the question.
Okay, I can start.
Yeah, you can start.
All right, so earlier I actually tweeted, you can get through things, you can get through a lot of things in life, however, you can't get through anything without discipline.
For sure.
Can you talk to them about the importance of discipline and commitment?
So she wants me to kind of touch on the concepts of discipline and commitment. She said she had just tweeted the other day that you can't get through anything without discipline, right? And I truly believe that my discipline came through the things that I was exposed to and the things that I saw, right? So when I went from season D's to straight A's, that's when I started to find motivational speakers, right? Started to find people on YouTube that I could follow. I started to, you know, find those mentors that could hold me accountable. And literally, I sat down with every one of my professors when I went from season D's to straight A's. Some were formal, like we're going to sit down and talk about this. And some were kind of like, you know, in passing, when everybody else leaves, I kind of just chat with them really quick. And I would say, you know, I'm really trying to earn straight A's. Is there more that I can do? Right? And that doesn't just give me information, but that allows them to hold me accountable. Because now that I put it out there that I'm trying to get straight A's, if I start skipping classes, they're going to pull me up, right? If I start doing bad on assignments, they have every single right to come to me and say, Jordan, what's going on? You said that you want to earn straight A's. Like, what happened? Right? So it's about the things that you expose yourself to. And again, back to communication as well. Like, how are you communicating with people and who are you communicating with? And one thing that I do to stay disciplined is that I make a daily to-do list, right? And it's something really simple, just every day before the day before I wake up, I make the list so that when I wake up, I don't waste time making it, you know, the day I wake up. And a lot of times, especially as students, we wake up and we have all of these ideas before we go to sleep. And we wake up and we're like, yeah, I don't even know what I want to do today. Like, I just throw my clothes on and this, whatever. But once you, you know, structure your day, And my day is actually sectioned off by time. So I know at 6:15, I wake up, this is going to take this amount of time. I know my yoga is going to take this amount of time. I know making my 3-egg omelet is going to take this amount of time. And I just go step by step over the things that I need to get done. So it starts with communication and then visualizing it, whether you need to put it in your calendar, make a to-do list. Like my Google Calendar, like that's my safekeep. Like I'm all over the place without my calendar. So communication and then just making it visual, seeing it every day. So, yep, right here. Yeah, I got it. I'll run it. And then press the square in the middle once you're done. Yep. You can start.
What's your best advice for time management?
My best advice for time management. Again, I really think that the to-do list is really effective with that. And really, you need to do inventory on yourself and become more self-aware. So if you're the type of student who takes extra time to do homework, you need to block off that extra time in order to do the homework. And you need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are when it comes to your personality. So for me, I'm a morning person. Like I'm up like first thing in the morning, like 6:15, like every morning. But once, 11 p.m. hits, I'm out. Like don't call my phone, don't text me. I'm not going to answer because I'm asleep. Right, so I structure my day to where I get the most things done early because I know that I'm that kind of student. And then once the night falls and the day winds down, going to the gym is the very last thing that I do. So I actually do all my homework in the morning because my classes are sectioned off in the middle of the day. And then by the end of the day, I'm in the gym and I can actually like work the day off. So that's kind of how I manage my time. I make my to-do list based off of what I want to get done. How long does it take for me? How long does it take for me to study? How long does it take for me to go to the gym? And I actually look at that in my day-to-day. So, if you're a person that needs more extra time studying, actually like put the timer on and say, how long does it take me to get through these kind of assignments? How long does it take me to spend time at the gym? Or how long does it take me to, prepare my meals or whatever you want to do? Right, and then you make a to-do list based off of your personality. Are you a morning person? Are you a night person? And then you kind of go through the list of the things that you want to accomplish. So, yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah, you can just start.
What are some strategies that you use to battle stress when it starts to become overwhelming?
Sure. Thank you. So like I said, when I went from seasoned D's to straight A's, I started to look at motivational speakers. People like Eric Thomas, people like Gary Vaynerchuk, anybody heard? Simon Sinek. You talk about Inky Johnson, football player for the University of Tennessee. Like these guys are really kind of the framework of my motivation, and I was consistent with it. So every single day I would watch something, whether it was 3 minutes long or whether it was 40 minutes long. I would put it on while I'm getting dressed for school, while I'm making my breakfast, and that would kind of be my fuel for the day. And look how I went from listening to people speak to now I'm actually the person giving the speeches and people are listening to me now. So it's just crazy how that transformation kind of happens when you surround yourself and expose yourself to people who can not only help you, but inspire you and hold you accountable as well. So, and really with social media in today's day, is no excuse to not be surrounded by greatness. Like there's so many people that you can follow on social media. There's so many resources that you can use, people that you can watch on YouTube to kind of get you started with that. And then once you get that basis and that framework consistently, then you can start to build on your own thing and maybe you'll even be doing the same thing that I'm doing. So that's how I got through those stressful times, watching people that would inspire me, motivating myself through outside sources. So anybody else had a question? Yep, one right here.
When you had your mindset change, what were some challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Friends, and friends. That was the number one challenge that I went through when I made my transformation. I lost some people. I lost some people as far as friends and the people that I was associating myself with because, again, my language changed. So people who only spoke English, that's all we were speaking. When I started speaking Spanish and I started talking about me starting my business, they would get it and they would be like, oh, like that's real nice, I support you. But I only want to align myself with people who I see in myself. I only want to align myself with people who are doing similar things that have that same drive and that same passion for what they want to do. So just finding a different friend group. And I have, former friends that, reach out to me now because they see me doing great things and they say, Jordan, I'm supporting you. Good luck with everything. But I kind of just leave it at that because we're not moving in the same direction anymore. And then, so it was just pretty much friends. And they'll weed themselves out. Because when you start talking about that every day and you start making different moves, you start seeing them less because y'all not, hanging out near the lockers an hour after school anymore. You're going to football practice or, you're going to study, actually study in the library now, and you start to see them less. So I think that naturally falls off. But that was my challenge of, managing my friend group and the people that I surrounded myself with. So, yeah. Anybody else? Any questions? Questions? Going once? Going twice? All right. Yep. I love it.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I love this question. She said, where do you see yourself in 10 years? So I'm a communication major with a minor in marketing, and I truly believe that speaking and teaching is my calling, is my gift. So I plan on being a college professor once I graduate. And then, of course, I'll continue to speak on the side. Like I said, I'm doing a TED Talk in March. So you take it from a 19-year-old, imagine where I'm going to be at 29 as far as speaking. I plan on speaking at, corporate businesses and, leadership conferences with like established leaders in the world. And that's kind of where I see myself as kind of a teacher primarily or a professor at college, like a really top university in college. And then I also expect to be doing this on the side, making a lot of money speaking at conferences and different things. So that's where I see myself. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions? Questions. Going once? Go. Yep. That's why I always do that. Yep.
Can you give an advice on like networking and getting yourself out there?
So he said that he wanted advice on networking and getting yourself out there. If you see somebody that's in your lane that's successful, speak to them. Like if you see somebody that's making positive moves, if you find somebody on Instagram, send that DM, because the last thing that they could do or the worst thing that they could do is just not respond. Right? Like I said, I've talked to people who have did TED Talks and now I'm doing a TED Talk. Right? I've talked to people that have spoken at leadership conferences, have done great things as a speaker, and now I'm doing it. So it's just all about reaching out. If you have to be exposed to it first, and once you see it, reach out to them. And like, did somebody speak to you guys at like the beginning part, like a speaker got up on stage and like spoke to y'all like really briefly? Did that happen? Like that's kind of the position that I want to be in next year. So I've been doing workshop presentations for the past 2 years. I'm going to talk to Mr. Kaler after this. I'll be honest, like I'm trying to get that spot. You feel me? So I already know who I'm going to talk to because I seen him early. He was like, yeah, I organized all of this. I'm just taking mental notes. Like, yo, like I got to talk to him after this is over. And like, you guys will be able to kind of vouch for me as far as how good this presentation was. And then I'll be able to, be the opening keynote. Like I'm trying to be the keynote guy. You feel me? So yeah, you got to expose yourself to it. And once you see it, you got to attack it right then and there. So any other questions? Questions. Going once, going twice. So, okay. So if you have a question that's personal and you want to come up to me and talk, feel free. I'll be more than glad to talk to you on the side. Also say hey to Dante. Everybody wave to Dante. That's my camera guy. God show him love. I also have my business cards right there on the black dock where the Vistaprint box is. They're right in front. If you want to contact me after this or follow me on social media, you can go ahead. My website is www.jdspeaks.com and my Instagram is @jdspeaks. If you want to talk to me. Now, if you're a leader in the back or you have a class or even as a student, if you want to book me to speak, if you think that I was great and you want me at your school or you want me at your organization, feel free to do it through Instagram, through my website. You can go to the booking page and fill the information out and we'll get in contact. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. What time? It's been 50 minutes. Thank you.